what was that movie, Gremlins. Bright light, bright light. All right, what's going on, guys? Hey, good to see you. What's that? Yeah, I wonder what it tastes like. Flat. No, game week's here. Finished up a lot of the physical preparation today. Still have a little bit of physical, but mostly mental and preparation left for the rest of the week leading up to the game time. But challenge I gave the guys after practice was to just stay in the moment of each day. We've still got a lot of improvement we can continue to do from a mental standpoint, and pleased with the team's at right now. We've made it to this point relatively healthy, in a good place with that. So looking forward to these guys continuing to prep from a mental standpoint. 2 more practices left, but take some of the physical part of it off of them. After coming out of a pretty physical camp we had, and get ready to play on Friday night here in Atlanta in the Benz. So I know the coaches are getting excited, players are excited, but just tempering that right now and continuing to focus on one day at a time, and what we have left to do leading up to the game is going to be the big challenge for us. And then want the guys to be able to cut it loose and go play free and not uptight and have a good time while they do it on Friday night. So I've put a lot of hard work in up to this point, and you put all the work in for really 12 guaranteed opportunities to play a game. It's fewer than any other sport. So, all the work you put in, you want to be able to understand that it's about going and playing the game and having fun while they're playing the game, but playing it the right way. So, we're excited. It's routine for us now. As everyone's heard for years and years, today's Tuesday, but it's actually Wednesday. Just the mental gymnastics of that with the installation and what we're doing. And so I think everyone's kind of confused on what day it actually is, but I just know we get to play a football game here soon, so I'm excited for that. With that, open up for any questions.
Okay, if you have a question, please raise your hand. Get a microphone.
I'm just curious how, anxious the team is to maybe finally play football. It's a long build-up, and kind of do you sense that a little bit, the team amping up to want to play? Yeah,
they're excited. Anxious is not the right word. We try to eliminate any type of anxiety in our players, coaches, anybody on the staff. They have to deal with a lot of things every day outside of football, and those alone, the external things, are what provides anxiety in the young kids and adults as well. So, anxious is not the word we ever want to use when it comes to getting ready to play a game. Excited, ready to compete, ready to compete against someone else with a different color jersey on. All those things, but anxiety is the last thing we want in our players. We don't want them to be uptight. We don't want them to play tight. We don't want them to go out there and have a fear of making a mistake or the fear of losing. That's not why you play the game. I mean, shoot, you look at the greatest competitors in the history of the world in the athletic arena. It's not about going out, and it's not that they're not scared to lose. It's not the fear of losing that drives them. It's not even really the want to win. It's the opportunity to go get better and become better than you were the previous time, and show improvement. And like I told our team the very first day of camp, our goal every day is to show individual improvement. And if our players improve individually, then collectively we'll improve as an offense, defense, special teams unit, and collectively as a team. So excited to see where they're at on Friday night.
Their coach was talking about their quarterback and how they want him to go out there and relax. I imagine defensively you want to first stop their running back so that their quarterback has to get maybe feels like he has to do more than he should.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to try to stop the run, try to stop the pass. That's what we're trying to do. So, that's, when you play a first game, it's not about the other opponent as much, because there are so many unknowns with a different staff, new head coach, unknowns with the quarterback. You try to piece things together, but at the end of the day, it's about playing the best that you can be. You're only as good as your base offense, base defense, base special teams calls, and then from there, first game is about adjustments. It's about coaches being sharp and sharp with the pencil between series, sharp at halftime, having a plan But we don't put that on our players, and we want our players to go out and compete as hard as they possibly can without that pressure.
Charles?
Hey, a follow-up on preparing for the unknowns. I'm sure you've addressed this before, but as you're going through the prep and the scouting, how much of Purdue did you have to look at and trying to figure out, what to expect from Louisville?
Yeah, we looked at a lot of film. I mean, we looked at Purdue, we've looked at Western Kentucky, we've looked at Louisville, we've looked at Louisville personnel, we've looked at, there's 26 transfers on their team. So we've looked at, I think it's 21 different schools. So I mean, you're looking at individual players. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into that. But at the same time, I don't want our guys to overthink things. I mean, first game, like I said, it's about what we do. It's about how we go out and perform. It's about how we execute our base offense, defense, and special teams.
Jeff? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff, and then we'll take one in the back. Black?
Eeny, meeny, miny,
Back here.
mo.
Hannah, right back here. Thank you.
After much delay, Coach, here's my question for you. How do you view these particular matchups in the Bends?
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time. It's exciting to be able to play in the Bends. I've had a lot of good memories playing in that stadium personally. But as a team, it's exciting to be able to go and play in that arena. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's nothing like playing at Bobby Dodd. We love our home stadium. We love playing at Bobby Dodd. But to have the opportunity for these guys to go out and play in the Bends, it's a special time.
And just to follow up on that, like the impact of a result in that game at that location means what to this program?
Yeah, I'm not worried about results. I'm not result driven. This team is not result driven. We're worried about what we have to do right now. We're worried about the process of what it takes to get those results.
Obviously, you can only tell so much from practices. You think you know what you have, but until the game starts, there's some mystery. Can you just sort of address that? And what one question are you really looking to get answered?
Gosh, one question.
Well,
There's
Andy,
100.
what are you looking for from your guys to sort of
you're
give us?
right. That's the thing. You do have a good feel for your team. I have a good feel for this team. I know what type of team we have, but it's, I know what team we have practicing against each other. I know what type of team we have, from January and the improvement we've shown from January to now. But it's all relative to who we're going against every day. So really, that's the unknown. How's the team going to react? Going against someone else? How's the team going to react in a different venue? How's the team going to react when adversity sets in? We all know adversity at some point is going to happen in the game. How are they going to respond from it? You take the things that have occurred over the last really 9 months, 8 months, 9 months, and you hope you have a little bit of a pattern, and you think you know what they're going to do. But we've all, as coaches, been in first games of the season, and there's a lot of unknowns, and there's a lot of things that happen in that first game that you've never planned for. So. I think the biggest question is that when that adverse time hits and when adversity comes, what are we going to do to work our way through it? What are we going to do to play the next play, to leave that play behind? And understand that it's one play at a time, just like it's one game at a time. We're playing. This is a season. No different than I've spoke about in the past, where we have 12 one-game seasons, and this is a season right here. So, are they going to be able to have the focus throughout the entire rest of the week? Are they going to be able to focus throughout the day on Friday and throughout the game, and then rebound and when something happens, play the next play, all those things? That's where I'm excited, and it's not really a nervousness. It's not a hope this happens. I hope this happens. I'm really excited to see how they take those challenges on.
Patrick?
Coach Key, speaking of stopping their running game, you've had to rebuild your front seven pretty much, and I just wonder who's emerged among that group as leaders, as you say, on the field at the moment.
Yeah, the good thing is we have depth on the defensive front. We do. We have a good group of guys, and a lot of them are going to play, and so you'll see a steady wave of guys rolling in and out throughout the game, and I hope all of them have their time to shine. I do. There's some that'll play more than others. But in a perfect world, I know Marco wants to get those guys on the front line all playing, about equal reps and being fresh when they're out there and being able to produce and be productive and, stop the run game and also be able to affect the quarterback.
Brandon?
Coach, specifically to the offense, what do you hope is pleasing to you game one with the quarterback and the offensive line and the wide receivers trying to execute and score some points on a regular basis?
Yeah, all those things. No, I want to see him be efficient. I want to see him move the ball. Situational football. We've spent a lot of time on situational ball for the last, through spring ball, through preseason camp. I want to see him to be able to get into the situations and they're not too big for them. They're not something they haven't, that they're nervous about. I want to see them be able to play with a cool, calm, collected demeanor, but yet play physical and play disciplined. I've told our team this week, I want this is a team I want to see them play loose. I want to see them play confident, but also be extremely disciplined and play with a physicality and a toughness that we've demanded from these guys every single day.
Chad?
Will Buster's script plays early? How do you see the offensive play calling going in this one?
So the first play will be this, the second play. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, of course I know. Yeah.
You don't know if he'll script them, or you don't know what the specific plays are?
Yeah, I don't know what the plays are. I don't know how many. I don't know how many plays he'll script. I don't know any of that. I don't know. We'll script it out and let our wives call it.
Sorry, I'm still getting over that last answer. Last year when you took over, it was kind of obviously a whirlwind situation. In some ways, do you sort of feel like this is the beginning for you, whether it's first time you're tested, first time you can really show yourself as a hit? I'm just curious about your mindset going into this game.
That's a good question because, I don't feel like it's the first time out. I feel like it's the first game of the season. I do. There's always the butterflies that creep in the first game. That's happened, since I was a kid playing football. It's part of it. That's what makes it fun. That's what drives you. You love to get to that point where those butterflies are. Now, as we're studying, a lot of different situations and doing situational prep and those things. I think yesterday we had one of the situations was from the Pittsburgh game last year, and I saw myself on the sideline. I was like, whoa. I said, it's come a long way from then. So, it's the first game, truly out there as the head coach, but, having that experience last year, and then actually revisiting it yesterday and seeing those things, really, I feel in a good place as far as going out there as the head coach and not being hey, it's the first time out, first time running through with the players, all those things. That's all fanfare. That's all part of the pageantry that makes college football great. But, last year, it probably was a little bit of a nerve-wracking those first few games. Now, it's business. We got a job to do, and I'm excited to go out there with those guys and do it.
And I'm sorry, one quick follow-up. I think I know what you're going to say to this, but in the midst of all this conference Armageddon, there's a pretty good chance, or there's a chance that ACC is going to expand with a few more schools. Do you have any thoughts on that in terms of
who are they? How it affects?
I'm sorry?
Who are they? No, it's
how it affects.
Honestly, I'm not going to say I don't know anything about it because Mike has done a good job of, giving me a heads up on these things. Because I've been solely focused on the prep for this team and prep for the Louisville game on Friday. But look, it's an exciting time for the conference. It's exciting that that they are looking to do those things. I got faith in the commissioner. I've got faith in the conference. I've been part of this conference since 1996, and that's why I love this conference. The ACC is such a great mix of athletics and academics, and it's an exciting brand of football right now in the league. And if they make the decision to move forward with that, we'd all be behind it and be excited for the future.
With, I guess, what you're looking for in these first few games, is it about establishing the identity of your program, like wanting to see the kids play hard, wanting to see Brent Key type football more than even just specific things? Like, it seems like maybe that's kind of your goal at this point, is to establish the identity of the program more than, I know you want to win games, but also just to establish this is Georgia Tech football in 2023 under Brent Key.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Brent Key football or under Brent Key. I'd say Georgia Tech football. That's what we're aiming to be. That's what we're aiming to do. It's no different than it's been since the first day we got together. I want to see a physically tough, disciplined football team that's committed to each other, committed to the to the process and has the ability to go out there and execute. 3 of those things I think we've come a long way with. I think we're a lot more physically tough football team. I think we're more mentally tough. I think they're committed to each other. I really do. The discipline we've so greatly improved, and we work on it every day, and we've improved so much. Again, when you get out there and the unknowns occur and the first game happens, that's where you got to hope that they rely back on their training. But really, the execution, that's the thing that you don't know. You know execution in practice. You know how it happens. You know how it occurs there. You know how it's been. But then executing versus another opponent, that's the thing that I really want to see in this game and see how we execute.
In the back, Reggie.
Coach, what would you consider a successful day for your quarterback as he goes ahead and makes his first start for this team? What are you kind of hoping to see from him other than just being crisp and, I guess, clear?
I hope today that he finishes up in the training room, in the locker room, training room, gets a good lunch, goes to class, gets a study hall in tonight, and then tomorrow we'll deal with that one tomorrow.
Coach, who are your captains for Friday night? And if I may ask how they were selected, if they have been selected.
They haven't been selected yet. I know who they are myself, but I'll announce it to the team in the coming days.
Brandon.
Coach, you made it clear since Haynes was named starting quarterback that he didn't have to look over his shoulder. What do you think that does for the huddle, the offensive line, the culture of the offense and the team when you make that message clear and he knows that going into game one?
Yeah, and that's the message I gave to him as well. As a coach, you don't want somebody looking over your shoulder. In business world, having someone look over your shoulder. I mean, you would hate someone constantly looking over your shoulder and thinking they were going to pull your, what you write or what you do on TV. That they were constantly getting ready to yank you off the set or pull the pen out of your hand. There's a nervousness when you do that, and when you have that feeling, you're constantly thinking about that. Whether you believe you are or not, it's in the back of your head. So look, Haynes is our quarterback. Haynes the guy. Everyone on this football team is going to, and myself included, everyone is going to make some sort of a mistake, all right, in the game. Everyone's going to make some sort of a mistake today. Everyone in this room makes mistakes, all right. That's part of life, all right. But he understands the confidence I have in him, this team has in him, the coaching staff has in him, that he is the guy.
Time for just a couple more. Emily.
You're obviously with this team a lot more than we are. You hear, you see things that we never will. So I'm wondering, during camp or even leading up to Friday's game, was there a moment you can share with us where you knew King was ahead of everyone else? And I'm not just talking about his play on the field, maybe something he did in a meeting or.
No, not. It was that would be making to me. That's making an impulsive decision. That's making an emotional decision. That's making a decision not based on what's best for the program or for the kids. This was a combination of work really from January, and as I've said in the past, it was a extremely close competition. It's we got some really good quarterbacks on this team. We've got quarterbacks, quality quarterbacks that have experience starting and playing in big time football games, and that's going to bode well for us as we move on through the season. It's like a gremlin.
Anything else? Go.
When you look at your special teams and that unit, it seems like Gavin had a very strong year ago, and they've worked on things with David. Just kind of what's your confidence level on what Ricky's done there with that group, and I guess kind of how are they looking going into the game? Yeah,
Ricky's done a phenomenal job with those guys. Being able to be multiple on our teams. Understanding that each snap of special teams is an offensive or a defensive play. And you're not going to go out on a defense and run the same defense every single play. You're not going to run the same offense every single play. So the multiples that he brings, the attention to detail, the basic fundamentals that he coaches every day, the passion that he has behind it, and coaching the teams as well as the kickers. It's exciting, but it goes with everything else. We'll find out on Friday night when we're under the lights. Because last year's gone. Regardless of how good you were a year ago, how good an individual was a year ago. It's a new year. It's a new season. It's a new football team. It's a new staff. It's a new program. So, that's another part that I'm really excited to see Friday night. Where we're at.
Okay. There's nothing else. Thank you, Coach Key.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Go Jackets.